the screen I'm looking at? I believe the stream has started. Hello. I'm Jason Klamm, and I am a podcaster person, whatever. But today, I'm doing the one thing that relaxes me in all the world, and that's I'm playing with Legos. Yes, I'm a grown-ass adult man, and yeah, I like playing with Legos. I don't know if anybody's going to find this because this sort of tagging situation on Twitch is not exactly the most sophisticated. So, um, no idea. I should probably tell people right now, as a matter of fact, that I'm streaming because honestly, nobody's here yet. So that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to sit here and. The ones that I wanted to do, I actually wanted to introduce people to the stuff that I do is, if I'm honest, my Cheers set. So I've got two sets that I've got here. I've got this set here, which I'll talk about in a moment, and then over here in the distance, which you can't really see beyond this TV prop, is Cheers. So I have a Lego Cheers set that is, where's the piece? Do I have the piece here? I might have had it set aside so that it's not broken. I do. So the Lego Cheers set is signed by James Burrows, one of the guy who directed the first episode of Cheers and many, many, many other episodes. And I don't know, it's as close to screen accurate as I can. I don't know why. I love Cheers, but it's not my favorite sitcom. I'm gonna, tweet this out right now. My favorite sitcom is News Radio, and that's what I'm working on today. It just so happens that just based on the way I've got my camera positioned and all this stuff, it made more sense to work on News Radio. So I'm gonna tweet this out to the wrong people. Nope. Yep. And also another thing, if there's anybody in here yet, I'm gonna put this back up. You'll see bit.ly/save skeets. That is to help my buddy Dan and his wife Ari. Both of them, my best friends, are basically they have a cat who's very sick and who needs some medicine, and they need to raise some money. And if you go there, you can help them get a little bit further, in their goal. So yeah, I'd like it if you did that. It would be very, very kind. I'd also say this: if you like my stuff and you're looking to ever support me, great. I will say I'm now broadcasting from the Detroit area. I was in Los Angeles, and on my trip out here, I lost my wallet, which included $400 cash. All the stuff that got stolen on my credit cards got taken care of, but the cash didn't. So if you have any interest in paying me back, you can do that through bit.ly/save skeets. So that would be great. I'm just gonna tell the News Radio folks that I'm going to be here, and just as boring to them as I am to you, if indeed anybody is watching. My guess is no. Watch me build News Radio. Learn to spell. Legos. Now I will say, I don't care if you say Lego or Legos. I know that there's official terminology, but this is supposed to be a joyful thing, a relaxing thing. This is feels insensitive to say Zen, but it's a very Zen thing because I can't think of another way to say it. So I'm just going to do this for a while. Maybe I'll put on some music in the background or a comedy album because that's a thing that I'm supposed to enjoy. And yeah, this is, boy oh boy, this is a mess. This is a mess. We'll just get right to it. I right now am building WNYX. Blair Beveridge, thank you so much for checking in. I am building WNYX, the news radio station from the television show News Radio. And actually, I'll just point out what you can see in the background here. It's Phil Hartman's spacesuit from News Radio, along with a little picture of him. These were both supposed to have been destroyed, but it turns out they were not, and I lucked out and got them, and they're prized pieces of my collection. So we'll go back to that. Look, there's Phil Hartman. I printed that out for another piece, which you can't see in here. This is again, if you're a News Radio fan, you can't see it, but that's one of the rocket fuel malt liquor bottles from one of the best episodes of the show. So this is a mess, a giant friggin' mess. Here's my my Bill McNeil, which again hard to see. He's holding two microphones because I needed someone to hold the many microphones I bought. I've got Lisa here. Lisa's on the phone. Lisa's Lego persona is imperfect. This is maybe the best guy of the whole set. This is a guy named Animal or Beardy. Animal or Beardy is an extra on the show, and people don't know his true identity. And I will say, as being obsessed with news radio and extras, if you know who this man is, I can put up pictures properly somewhere. Tell me, because this man is, for some reason, a lot of us are obsessed with him. We've got Catherine. They're all buried in the rubble. This is so sad. They're all buried in the rubble. We've got Catherine here. This is just a giant mess. It was actually set up a few days ago. I moved out here to Detroit about a month ago, and I should say the Detroit area, and these were packed okay, but I will say even after unpacking them, I've since accidentally destroyed bits and pieces. This looks like one of those special episodes. Speaking of Cheers, there was that episode where like half the bar burned down, and as a kid I remember that really stressing me out. We got Jimmy James. The man's so nice they named him twice now. This is him in the goatee. Those glasses are weird. He's got a harpoon gun, as Jimmy has. If you know your news radio, which I'm sure many of you do. Alcoholic Santa, which it just happens to be there, but also David Anthony Higgins did play a shitty Santa on that show, on one episode. Beth is over here. Can't see her at the moment. Beth is over here on the couch. I may have to reposition everything, but this is Dave's trophy wall, which is in pieces. And also, yes, I R.I.P. Phil, indeed. Oh, speaking of which, do I have it? Well, I can't really reach it. Well, right back here, right behind my, right there, that is from Phil Hartman's memorial. That was given to me by a very kind gentleman named Spider Chambers, who gave me and my co-hosts of my news radio podcast a lot of news radio related stuff, and it included that, which was a huge honor. Although it was like, are you sure? Are you sure I deserve that? The answer is no, I don't deserve it. But, well, I guess in his eyes I do. So thank you, Spider, for being cool. We've got Dave with his cup of coffee. I'm very excited. One of these days, people like to mod Legos. Now, I gave Dave one of the kids' faces, so he's fresh and freckled. People like to mod Legos. I'm not great at it yet. Well, one thing I'm going to do is mod this to be a proper news radio mug. You can't see that, but I do have a news radio mug in the office as well. But yeah, this is the trophy wall. There's all these little Lego guys or Lego people. I put a Lego set on here too as well, because why not? This is supposed to be a radio. It's just a window, but it's a very tall, old-timey radio. The news radio set, it should be mentioned, the colors are so weird to try and figure out on these old washed out brown tinted 90s sitcoms. Let's see. How is this even supposed to go? See, I can't remember. It's been, I haven't picked this stuff up since like October, when I realized I was going to be moving out here, and then realized I hadn't taken enough detailed pictures to actually put this together exactly the way I remembered it. So these are parts of the booth. The booth is like a semi-octagon. That's not a thing, but it's it's like four-sided. No, three-sided. That's not true. It's not four-sided. So I had to build all these like bending bits, and it was very complicated and looked great. And then I just realized I was getting the hell out of there, and everything sort of fell apart. But the colors on the show are hard to gauge. There's this sand gray color or something, sand green color that I really love, and I have found it in abundance. It's close to the color, but the color that's really in news radio is kind of a tealish, but they don't really have a teal. God, I hope this is interesting to somebody, because I will tell you, it's boring the shit out of me to just say. Am I not supposed to swear in here? I don't know. This is the episode Public Domain. This is just a piano, so that Bill's character can just sit here and play to his heart's content. Old Bill Clinton came to town riding on inflation, took a town named Whitewater, introduced it to our nation. Yep, there we go. Love that show. It's a very good show. If you haven't seen news radio, I get it. You're probably young. I mean, if you're on Twitch, chances are you don't know news radio too well. I could be wrong. I don't like to make assumptions. This is, oh God, nope, I'm not moving that character, because apparently he's a load-bearing minifigure. And if I move him, that whole booth is going to come crashing down. This is a bag of parts that has nothing to do with this, so that's getting moved. Let's see here. We've got, what is this? Is this the fridge, as I think it is? This is. This is a weird attempt to make a refrigerator. It's complicated, not very functional, but I did want the door to open for reasons that are unknown even to myself. So just going to go here real quick, and you're probably going to hear me echo myself because I just want to make sure that I'm streaming properly. Look at me. I'm streaming. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, we're all oldies. I get it. You know, this is I mean, this is one reason why I'm not constantly staying on this shot, because it's just reminding me how old I am. But you know, what are you gonna do? So here, I'm just sitting here walking you through my Lego set in pieces. This is like a post-mortem on a news radio Lego show. What the hell? Oh, this was part of the booth. See, this is. Some of these are highly incomplete. This is like supposed to be the mixing board, which the mixing board on the show, this is just more of a placeholder for shape, and I was trying to figure it out. This is on the show, so it was usually Phil Hartman and Candy Alexander. Candy Alexander, I should point out, only podcast she's ever done is My News Radio podcast. I say it is a show that I co-host with Jen, who lives on the ether, and my good buddy Alan Rickert, who is in Los Angeles. We discovered through a show that we do together called A Drinking Game, that I will eventually come back to and visit in Los Angeles, or do some more Zoom shows. We both discovered that we love news radio, and that, it is my favorite sitcom of all time. I was desperate to make a new podcast. That's not true, but the only way I knew how to express myself at the time, and now, let's be honest, was in podcast form. I'm trying to find a space for this. This is, there was a column on the show that moved around a lot, and it was mostly just for framing purposes. But that column had, like postings on it, and I found some little Lego things, but it also had a clock. And at one point, Dave swings a samurai sword into that clock and kills it and puts all the lights out. So I put a samurai sword in that. I'll just put it there for the moment. It doesn't go there. I don't think it ever went there, as a matter of fact. This is the water cooler I made. There's some little 1x1 round things that are blue, so water. Here's the coffee machine with a clear Lego head as the coffee pot. There we go. There we are. That's it. There's no way to do a handle. I tried to do a handle. I was hoping I could. This is mostly me showing off things that are not worth showing off, but I hope you enjoy it. What else do we have up here? Okay, a bunch of flat pieces. I don't know why half of these things are here. Dave's office looked so good. It's now destroyed. This is hell. This is hell. A lot of little newspapers. One thing I would like to do is, there are Lego newspapers here. This is, does it say the greatest news ever? It's clearly like, is it, this is, yep, it's a little Lego fireman, rescuing a cat from a tree. On the show, on news radio, then there's the Lego news. That looks like a mushroom cloud. I think it's a mushroom cloud. That's disturbing. Or it's supposed to also be a tree, but it looks like a mushroom cloud. On news radio, they had one prop newspaper that had Mikhail Baryshnikov in it, I think. Something like that. And it was a running joke behind the scenes that was the only newspaper that existed in that whole universe, because that's what they would always be looking at. Candy Alexander did tell me she's going to send me her copy of it at some point, which would be amazing. I would love to have that. This guy doesn't belong in the news radio set, but he's fun. He's in these little creepy ghost people. So that's I don't know why he's here. He can go on the Cheers set for now. The Cheers set is going to be easier to put back together. This is me really just assessing. But this was at one point the booth. Which means, oh my god, I have no idea how I put this thing together at all. I'm going to put this here because this looks like it's the front thing. Oh yeah, there we go. Knew that was going to happen. Somebody watching knew that was going to happen. I know I did. So there we go. I will point out again, if anybody is watching at the moment. By the way, this is just a scary angel. There's nothing to do with news radio, but it's a scary angel. There you go. That's all. Scary angel with a very cool haircut. If you are still watching, anybody, check out the this. There it is. Whatever. bit.ly/save skeets. That will help my buddy Dan and his wife Ari raise some money to take care of their cat who has FIP and needs treatment for it. They had some treatment that helped, but then it just sort of, as things go, the kitty cat relapsed, and they need a little bit more money to get higher doses and take care of the cat. So please donate there. We do. I'm part of a podcast called Of Dice and Dens. Very quickly, I had to make several PCs once I found out these exist. I had no idea these existed. Kurt, hi Kurt. Kurt, you know what? I need to know. My buddy Kurt is in the room. No pressure to stay because I'm very boring. Very quickly again, these are PCs. My buddy Kurt has done a lot of extra work, way more than I ever have. Even though I've tried to make myself look like the expert on extra work. And he was on News Radio. My favorite sitcom of all time. Kurt was on News Radio. I believe, Kurt, if I'm not mistaken, you said you got cut and it was like a banquet. But what I need to do is, if you have pictures of yourself on the show, or you remember which episode it is, I'm going to have to make a Lego guy of you. I don't know if I'm... I don't know if you saw this, Kurt, but here you go. This is Beardy / Animal. And we call him Animal because that was the name he was going to be given in the script if they ever did a subplot about the extras. That show would get very meta, and I made a Lego of him, so at some point I got to make a Lego of Kurt as well, once I'm in the position to buy more. Here's the thing. I am not a rich man, but the amount of money it costs to make just the News Radio set is obscene and childish. So one of these days, though, there's a place here in Troy, Michigan, that I can't remember the name of it. It's like a small franchise, but they have a lot of Lego bricks and stuff. I bet I could make some stuff happen. This is just a mess. A fucking tornado went through here. Tornado went through WNYX. It's so sad. Yeah, the backdrop here is, what the fuck are these? Oh, you know what? These are fun. There are a bunch of nonsense bullshit books in the background of News Radio, and these are just little books that open up, and that, I guess, is the words, the papers, I suppose. Dude, Kurt, I miss you too. I am very sad that we never got to properly hang out. But I will be back in LA to visit, and I don't know your feelings about your hometown, but if you do come and visit, once things are safe, we will hang out for sure. That will definitely happen. Especially once we do a drinking game out here. If anybody, so the show I do a drinking game. I don't even know why I was talking about that. No, I was talking about the other podcast that I do, which is called Of Dice and Dens. And the reason I brought it up is every year now, starting last year, we do something called the Meow-rathon, which is a charity marathon for cats to raise money for a cat shelter, Simply Cats in Boise. And so that's kind of whenever my buddy Dan and I stream, now it's going to be to raise money for cats, it seems. So anybody, if you've got a little bit of money to help Dan's cat with FIP, go to that bit.ly address on the screen. They're looking to raise quite a bit of money, but they've already raised a good chunk of it. So, as the saying goes, it's not a saying. Just whatever you can afford. I'm just sitting here moving Legos around, but that's because I'm trying to make sense of this. I wish I could get a better angle for you on Dave's office, but this is maybe I can. Is it at all possible? It looks weird because then I'm just giving you a shot of my crotch, and nobody needs that, least of all me. So maybe we don't. Maybe what I could do next time, I'll set up another camera from this position and basically just do a 3-camera setup, and we'll just have it. That's how I'll do it. We've got Vicky over here. Vicky holding a piece of bubble gum. I say Vicky. The character's name is Beth. I just had to put something weird and eclectic together for her, and she's a redhead, and she's laying down on Dave's couch over here, which, again, I wish you could see. Oh, you know what? There might be a way I could do it. No, I can't do it right now. Kurt, if you are still in the room, tell me where the best place to get Detroit style pizza is. If it's Buddy's, I feel bad that I haven't had Buddy's yet. I need to have Buddy's. I will say, though, I have gone out of my way to go to some, your standard-ish. Oh, Jets. Okay. Wait a minute. I haven't. What did I have? I got to ask what I had when I first got here. It might have been that, because that was very good. Um, can't remember what I had. Okay. This is so complicated. I'm trying to figure out what I do with this. If anybody, I'm not a gamer, which is the worst person to be on Twitch is a non-gamer, I suppose. But this is for Lego Dimensions, which is a game. Blah blah blah. You have your little part, but these things are NFC tags, and they're easily rewritable. So the one that I have on my Cheers set, again, my also collapsed Cheers set, is inside the jukebox, and if you put your phone over it, it will then go to the file of the theme song for the show Cheers, which is kind of fun. I don't know what to do with it in News Radio. Can't find a way to, although I guess I could integrate it into the sign, to the main. This is going to be the News Radio sign at some point, so maybe that's what it'll be. I don't know why I didn't think about that. It seems incredibly obvious. Now that I say it, Dave is in here in his office. I have a wall up. That's something. Some point I think I have, oh yeah, I do. All right. Got a little copier machine. There's a very good episode called Copy Machine, in which a guy dies getting his tie stuck in the copy machine, and it's a whole debate as to how he died, or why he died that way. And it has some very good things that I won't spoil, but I will say that at some point the prop master for the show had to squeeze herself inside of an actual copy machine to make a very good funny gag with Dave Foley happen. It's a great show. News Radio is the best show. I do know what this is. This is one of Dave's windows, outside of which is strapped a cane. Because if you know the episode The Cane, and then there's this. Let's see. Right here at Bill's desk, there's just a whole thing of canes, because at the end of the cane episode, he does reveal that he's got many, many canes. There's no style to them. They're all just brown sticks. They're not as cool looking as they were on the show. I will also say, now that I'm in Detroit, I am, my God, none of this makes any sense. None of this, I don't remember how I put this together. I should have written it down, right? That would have been the smart people thing to do, but I didn't. Being in Detroit, and moving out to Detroit when I did, I decided I would watch the TV show Detroiters for the first time. And now, having rewatched that show about a dozen times, because it's the funniest thing on the planet, I'm sadder that I can't go out yet, because I don't get to see all the fun locations. Although I have gone out a couple times just for the sake of having to. And hey, thank you, Kurt, for donating. You're a sweetheart. You're a nice guy. You know what? Kurt's a good guy. He gets a bad rap. No, he doesn't. I just thought I would throw that out there. Kurt gets a good rap because he's a good guy. He also likes They Might Be Giants. Come on, if you like They Might Be Giants. And Weird Al. Kurt and I met on the set of a Weird Al music video, performed this way, and have been buddies ever since. And we both like ourselves some Weird Al. And we were also there for the New York Times Sunday Magazine photo shoot that they did, wherein Kurt embarrassed everybody because they're like, hey, who's seen Al the most times? And then the only person to keep their hand up at the end of like 1,000 shows, that's not true, but a lot of shows, was Kurt. And everybody else was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not that kind of a fan. I thought I was. Ooh, you know what? Bare Naked Ladies. I mean, who doesn't like Bare Naked Ladies? Well, probably plenty of people probably don't. But I like Bare Naked Ladies. Now, I should include them if I were to also do the Wrong Guy Lego set, which, what would that even be? A blood-covered Lego guy? Wait a minute. I do have an entirely red Lego guy. That would be funny. I should do the Wrong Guy in Lego. Not right now. See, this is the problem. I get excited about ideas. I have everything that is fire-related I have over at Matthew's desk, because he became the fire marshal, the floor fire marshal at some point on News Radio. Oh, God, I keep dropping shit. Why do I have a metal detector? I might just have a metal detector because it's dope. That might be why I have it. So there we go. I will say also, these colors will help me at some point if I decide to do anything Detroiters related in Legos, because I kind of now want to. This I could make their car with. Boy, oh boy. This is a Christmas tree in a garbage can. Joe, the character of Joe, at one point throws his Christmas tree in the office Christmas tree in a garbage can. I'm now wondering where Joe is. I think Joe is in his van. Joe's van is only talked about on the show. It is never seen, so I made a Lego version of the fantasy of it, which has monster truck wheels on it, and it's friggin' great. But it's buried in one of like 6 boxes of Lego because, again, I'm an adult man with. I will not call myself an AFOL because if you say it out loud, it stands for adult fan of Lego. But AFOL sounds too much like asshole for me. I can't do it. It makes me very uncomfortable. Can I set? Oh, this whole wall is just jacked. I tried to do this, I won't say to scale, but I mean, I watched a lot of the show to make this thing work. All I'm doing is, now I realize I'm throwing all the garbage in your area. This is the problem. You can't even see the best part of the set here. This is the table. This is the table that everybody sits at, which I've also put a bunch of little Lego statuettes on for some reason. I don't remember what the purpose of that was. This is the rat from Rat Funeral. He's in a box. I should get a few more. Rats, because that would be fun. Hide them around the office. I even went to the effort, for no apparent reason, to buy little garbage cans, because every little desk needs a little garbage can. This is, oh, that's what this is. This is another Lego man head, but what do you call it? Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much, Joe. This is basically Matthew's smart drink. There's no way to make a straw in Lego, although there are little feathers that kind of look like straws, but I wanted it to look neon and crazy. So that's going to be Matthew's smart drink. Again, I cannot move Matthew from the booth right now, because when I do, the whole booth shifts, which is terrifying and terrible and upsetting. What else do we have in here? We got some briefcases. We got a bunch of briefcases. I don't think I bought those for the set. I think I already had a bunch of cases for the set. I will say, Joe Galvan is in the room. He's the reason I have WNYXNewsRadio.com to put my website, my podcast website on. So thank you, Joe. You're the best. There's a ghost dog back here. I forgot there. Yeah, this has nothing to do with the show either, but I guess it's implied. If it's on this set now, it's canon that Lisa's dog has died, which is really sad. But that makes me extra sad because his name is Daisy. My cat's name is Daisy. Nope, this is a separate ghost dog, entirely different. It died there in the 1800s. Bark, bark. I'm going to put it over on the Cheers set because I don't want it to haunt this set too much, I guess is my concern. This is a little table and a lamp from Dave's office. I planned my camera placement poorly is what I've done. And there's literally no way for me to move the camera at this point. So this is insane. I don't know what I'm even doing. A lot of these little computers sitting around. We got Matthew's desk. We got Lisa's desk with a typewriter. Oh, that's not bad. My typewriter's pretty good. Bill's desk here. We got Catherine's desk, sort of. Catherine's desk feels like it moved around a lot. Joe does not have a desk. Beth's desk is over here. Let me get the column out of the way, as they always did on the show. Beth's desk is a circle, a semicircle on this side of and this is red, which it shouldn't be. I need to buy that, but it's on this side of Dave's office on the outside. Boy, oh boy, is this is a fucking mess. What I should have done is done some clean up first. Again, there's Bill playing the piano. There we are. There we are. She's seen Clinton nude. What else do we have in here? I mean, that's mostly it. There's going to be more references to specific episodes. My arcade, the stuff from arcade is elsewhere. I have like a little arcade cabinet, a Lego arcade cabinet that they make that I'm going to put a sticker on the side so it looks like the Stargate Defender video game, and a few other things like that. These are just a ton of windows. Just have a ton of windows. It's a very brown show, a very brown colored show. This is, I think, a wall from Dave's office, if I'm not mistaken. I got to clear out all this space. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. This might be another copy machine for all I friggin' know. Don't know what I was thinking. This is the problem. This thing is a friggin' mess. Welcome to the self-deprecation hour with Jason Klamm. That's everything I do, though. See, this is the part when I start building where everybody's like, "Oh, this is boring." Let's be honest. You knew it was boring to begin with. You're just being kind. Let's see. Maybe this will work. Will this work? Oh, I think this. Aha. Okay. There we are. So, again, I wish you could see it. You can't. You can barely see it. Is there any way? You know what? Fuck it. Here's what I'm going to try and do. Okay, without showing you too much of my crotch. There we go. This is a little bit better. A little better, not by much. But there's Dave's office, a little bit more of Dave's office. And I just put this wall up because outside of it, I built another building because it's weirdly close to this other building, like right next to it on the show, which makes zero sense. This really is honestly where the camera should have been the whole time. So now I'm committed to having this resting against my heaving chest, which sounds more sexual than I meant it. So I guess next time that's what happens. Next time we go a little bit more. Yep. Any hoozle. So what are you guys up to? Oh, and there we go. So this is the other piece. This is the part of the wall with the cane strapped to it. Bill? Yes, Dave? I stole your cane. Let's see here. Kurt's going to do, again, don't know if you're still in the room, Kurt, no pressure. But if you, regardless, my buddy Kurt is going to do our podcast at some point to talk about being an extra on the show. Because, I mean, it's a good episode. Yay! Kurt's still here. Kurt's going to do our podcast, which, by the way, is called Dispatches from Fort Awesome, a news radio podcast. We've been doing it for 5 years now. And we're going to have him on to talk about being an extra specifically on news radio because, you know, that would be fun. Kurt's fun. And also, we have to find Animal. We have to find Animal, please. Where is this man? Also, I'm only calling you Animal because that's what they called you in the commentary. Beardy is something else we've called you, but you're a human being with a cool jacket. Come on the show. We need to find you. It's my new quest. My new quest in life is to find that gentleman whose name no one remembers. I mean, that's the thing about being an extra. Nobody ever remembers your name, and I get that. Bill's going to go over here. Bill's going to sit here for a minute. This is the longest I've ever streamed where I didn't know what I was going to do, and this is weird. How do children play video games all day and still I mean, whatever. Video games are exciting. I guess that's what it is, but I just can't play video games. Oh, man. Yeah, Kurt, I get it. Like, you know how many extras I've met in the same way where I've just like, it's like, yeah, what a cool guy. This guy gave me a ride home from the set of Alias. Sweet guy. He was a big fan of Frankie Lane. He was in a leather suit all day for both Crossing Jordan and Alias. He, again, drove me home. He was bald. I couldn't admit that I was balding. I wasn't really aware of it yet. But I don't remember the guy's name at all. But the nicest dude to give me a ride home from the set of Alias. But yeah, it's like, it is what Jimmy Pardo calls community theater blues. Sometimes you can even get hooked in and like feel like you're going to be friends, and it's the most fleeting because it's literally only a day sometimes. Yeah, it can be. Oh, all right, maybe I can show you this. Maybe? Oh God, no, it's in pieces here. I'm building the elevator, in terms of, that is to say, I am building, you know, a thing with sliding doors. Is this how it's supposed to go? When I say sliding doors, I don't mean alternate realities. I mean actual sliding doors. This is a track, and, well, what you're supposed to do, and I've got to get like a little thing, but you're basically, I'm going to put two in here so that, oh, there's the other one. But basically, they should both, I don't know what's happened there, but that should open, and it's not. There we go. So, but there we go. That will be a sort of functional elevator at some point. Possibly even powered. I'm going to guess not, but that would be fun if I could power that up somehow. I've seen people do it. Smarter men than I. This is part of the break room. It's in friggin' pieces. Holy shit. This is like, I feel like I have to come in here with a plan. This is the thing. This is part of there are French doors. There were French doors. They're supposed to be here. Okay, this is, well, that's not how it would go, but roughly here is where the French doors to the office go, to WNYX proper. I've made the hallway rather large, but I think it's mostly to accommodate all the stuff from arcade. Let's see here. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much, Joe. I've also not seen that movie. But I can reference it hard. Well, let's see. I did work with back in the day. I'm still friends with 15 years later, and her husband wrote for The Office and Superstore. Holy shit, that's amazing! Wow, that's a pretty good career. Let's see here. Sort what you know, pull the rest out, build what you know, and fill the rest in. That is roughly what I'm trying to do, but I'm failing miserably because I literally don't remember. I can look at a piece and be like, maybe this was actually over here. Actually, I think it was over here. Maybe. Let's see. You have to approximate so much in here. Possibly. Of course, if I build that up, then it will, yeah. It'll obscure some of it. But then again, this whole damn thing is obscured. I gotta look and see. I know I have photos somewhere. I have some photos where it's like, oh, I was making quite a bit of progress. But yes, you are correct. That is the right way to do it. And since I'm very bad at positioning my brain to do that, I'm going to try and take your advice slowly and carefully. Trying to make this part work, which is what the hell? Oh, this is the other thing. There's a spiral staircase that goes up into the station, and it is the only one I could find. The only one I could find anywhere was purple, which is weird. That's a good point. No point in rushing fun. But since I've put myself under pressure to have an audience, it is a different kind of fun, is what I shall say. I should probably just be drunk or high while I'm doing this. That would make it a little easier to not give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, to just hang. Legos are the one thing that relax me. I don't know. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you for enjoying the chaos. Oh, that's right. This is just a plate. This is a golden plate, but that is going on Bill's desk because that's where the food goes. They don't make Lego spaghetti, but there's all kinds of Lego food that you can put in there. I have hot dogs and shit. Like, you know, Lego spaghetti would be cool, but it would be complicated. Yeah, there's a Lego hot dog. Look at that. Oh, it's very weird. A lot of desks, a lot of extra desks. That one doesn't work. A lot of extra desks. Once I found out that they made computer keyboard Lego pieces, this is such a terrible name. Maybe I can just do this. Here's what I'll do. Nope, doesn't really help you. But either way, it's a little keyboard. Once I found out that you could do that and that they made Lego. This is a problem. This is why I should improvise, guys. I need somebody else in the room to keep me on board. If you've listened to my news radio podcast, you'll know that it's very, very difficult for me to stay on point, not on board. I'm on board with my whole thing. I'm on board with me. Yeah, that's the most positive thing I've ever said to myself. I'm on board with me. And there we go. Yeah, this is supposed to... maybe... No. Where does this go? Not there. Okay, well, it fell over. And it killed Matthew almost. I'm so sorry, Matthew. This is a fucking mess, guys. Let's see. I'll tell you this. I'll put the books here, because the books are supposed to go here between these little bookends that I've created. This can go there. I will say, guys, if there's ever a News Radio Season 6 or a special movie, it will not happen. But I like to fantasize that it happens, and then, you know, Alan and I are in the background, just chilling, just hanging out. You know, Jen is on the ether. I don't know how you do that. Maybe she's a radio voice, since she doesn't want to be on camera. That's basically it. I just want that to happen. That'd be fun for me. And if not, you know, I want to be on What We Do in the Shadows, since Paul Sims produces that show. As podcasters, Jen can be a ghost. Look, I'm just putting this out into the ether, as it were. And we all have volunteered to die on the show. Like, who wouldn't want to get murdered on that show? So, you know, if you have the power to get us on What We Do in the Shadows and have us murdered, I live not that far from Toronto, by comparison to how close I used to live, which was Los Angeles, which is not at all. This thing, there's that. That I can use to separate stuff if I want to. Can't put anything back together, like my parents. Oh, so sad. This show, by the time the show went off the air, my parents were not yet divorced. But I love that I'm making this as though it's actually about that. true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, a true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand for thee. Where is it? Where is it? The best comedy record on the planet. I can't find it right now. Great White North. If you guys haven't heard Great White North by Bob and Doug McKenzie, listen to it. It's a good album. It's a good record. I interviewed Dave Thomas a couple months ago. That was fun. This is chaos. You're right, Kurt. This is insanity. It's because I'm trying to make sense of this. What I'm gonna do is come back to this at some point. It's hard to do also. Take coffee. It's hard to do this without having like the show in front of me, because I will usually sit and watch, I don't know, 12 episodes in a row while I do this, because I will sit and do this for 4 hours. Gives you reference points, keeps you excited about it, distracts you from the fact that what you're doing is insane, because this is insane. Like there's no reason to recreate a television sitcom set from the 90s in the form of very well merchandised little plastic men. Let's see. Oh my God. Kurt, you got suspended for playing their 12 Days of Christmas, which I think, maybe not, but I feel like it's the original, like, and only good 12 Days of Christmas parody that's ever existed. That's really funny. You got suspended for playing that. I will say, I think I can say this here because he didn't seem to care in the podcast, but I cut it out for the actual airing of the podcast, but he didn't seem to give a shit. Dave Thomas was recently awarded the Order of Canada. And we were discussing it, and he told me that not long before we had recorded, like a few days before, he had lost his Order of Canada. He didn't know where it went. And he's been trying to get a new copy of it. I think I'm allowed to say that. He didn't seem to care at the time, but he deserves to have it back, damn it. Like, I mean, come on, it's basically a knighthood. Come on now. That's all I'm saying. And Dave is great. Dave was a sweetheart. Dave was very nice. Now, the only thing that would complete this, that podcast is to get me some Rick Moranis on the podcast at some point. I say at some point. Anytime between now and November would be fantastic. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see. Again, Jimmy James. Okay, so who have I had on the podcast? Here's how we're going to play the game. I've had him on the podcast. I've had Jimmy James with his harpoon gun. He did not bring a harpoon gun. Candy Alexander, Vicky, and Dave over here. You know who will never do the podcast? Andy Dick. Because I said so. I'm trying to think. There is something called the Gorelli 1000. The Gorelli 1000 is a great invention that Joe invented so that Jimmy could communicate with the office. There's also the Gorelli 5000. Joe, if you're still in the room, you might remember what that is. I can't remember the difference, but, well, except I do know the Gorelli 1000 is like a communicating, like a CB situation. I made it out of Lego. Oh, it's in Joe's van. It's in Joe Gorelli's van. His last name is Gorelli, and it's in his van. Damn it, that's really sad, because it's cool looking. Stephen Root has the original one and said he was going to send it to me. All these people from the show are like, hey, you want this thing? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then nothing has come of it yet, but that's fine. It'd be a little hard to mail these things to Detroit, but I'll fly out to LA to pick up a prop from the show. Again, speaking of which, you can't see it, but there's the Rocket Fuel malt liquor bottle. If you guys are nerds for the show, you'll appreciate that. I'm going to drink a little bit of, I'm going to hydrate and treat my throat well by drinking this iced tea. Oh. Joe Galvin, thank you so much for asking that question. I'm trying to find the van. I'm going to go over here right now. These are the one set of Legos I have out. Is it possible? It's possible. It's not highly likely. This is the problem. I have like 6 boxes that are 13 by 13 filled with Lego. And, no, that's the mermaid for the Cheers bar. Yeah, I don't think it's in here. If it's in there, it's buried too deep. But I know, Joe. Believe me, I'm sad about it myself because I love it. It's great. Again, it has monster truck wheels. It's got a lot of cash that he's clearly stolen. A lot of all my Lego weapons are in that van because we have posited on our news radio podcast that Joe Gorelli is a serial killer. A la Dexter, except he doesn't kill other serial killers. He just kills people. Again, he's a serial killer. But yeah, these books keep falling out. This is sad and upsetting. There's got to be a way to make them stay. I'll just have to put a little buffer or barrier up there for that to happen. Let's see. These are these little filing cabinets that kept moving around the office as well. Bright orange. Boy, oh boy. This is appropriate. I mean, I have to figure out how I'm going to make this be more of a coat rack, but that's like an Obi-Wan Kenobi cape, which is perfect for Dave. It's like the only... That's true. I could use Craggle. I could use the Craggle, but I resist it. If I can build a gravity-powered, grippy thingy, I will do that. I've never glued any Lego together except for when I was a kid, and I regretted it, and it probably made me cry because I was a sensitive little boy. So I also used to chop my Legos up for fun, and then later felt guilty about it, which is weird. But, you know. Ooh, you know what? If anybody on here has in mind a Lego cameo I should create, like somebody from the show, like John Ritter. Should I make a John Ritter Lego? Should I make a you know, I don't have any in here. These are all other characters from other things, like Woody and Buzz and things. But other people from the show would be fun. What do I have? Do I have anything? And I already mentioned this earlier. Kurt was kind enough to donate bit.ly/save Skeets. Those are donations for my buddy Dan Gomiller's cat, Skeeter, who has FIP and needs treatment. So any little bit helps. It is very true. And it's just pricey as shit. It's so fucking pricey. It's an experimental drug. And it helped, but they need a higher dosage. That's the big thing. I don't know what this was supposed to be. What did I put here? What? Guys, anybody in the room a mind reader? Because... holy shit. Yeah. So I'm going to do stuff from arcade. I'm going to do stuff from... this is like more exciting to me all of a sudden. I really want to get this elevator working. Patton Oswalt, Bob Odenkirk, or David Cross. These are all very good choices, especially since David Cross and Bob Odenkirk played two characters. Norm Macdonald played one character he was then replaced by... oh my God, I've forgotten his name. He created Zoolander, not Ben Stiller, but the other, Drake Sather. Drake Sather played Norm Macdonald's character, which was weird because from a distance, he looked and definitely sounded enough like him. Ray Romano. You know what? Kurt, can I tell you? He is an interview I want to do on this show so badly. For those who don't know, he played the Joe character before Joe. The pilot, he was played by Greg Lee of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego fame. He was our first interview on the show, was Greg Lee. But Ray Romano played him first and got cut. And so Greg was a last minute replacement. I would love to interview Ray Romano because I want to, he's rich. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. Hopefully he wouldn't be too embarrassed. That would be to me a very fun discussion. And I should make Ray Romano. I wonder if there are photos of him in costume, if they ever made a costume for him. I like this very much. But I also like the idea of Bob Odenkirk and David Cross. Maybe I should... Yeah, you know what? The Chalk guys. Maybe if I can find... Because I have some stuff that kind of looks like... Or I've seen stuff that looks like... Kurt, it's a long story, I think, as to why Paul F. Tompkins has done none of my podcasts. Long story short, I think it's overreach on my part. I think I overasked too many times, which is... It's rare. I don't do that. But I think that's the reason he hasn't done any of my shows. Even though we talked about him on Comedy on Vinyl before I ever stuck to my guns on the vinyl thing. Agreed, damn indeed. I would love to have Paul on. I think he's brilliant, and he's like one of my favorite comedians of all time. But I think I accidentally burned that bridge. Not my normal MO, by the way, and I just got over enthusiastic. That's what happens. But I do have I made a Paul F. Tompkins Lego to put in my Cheers bar. He's not there right now. He's in another box somewhere. But he was on an episode. He married Jimmy and or Johnny Johnson and Lisa, my buddy Neil's least favorite episode of the entire series, which I find funny. There's some more extra hydrating Earl Grey iced tea, guys. Extra hydrating. Caffeine definitely hydrates you. Okay, so this is another piece to the... Okay. It's weird. Like, I have to sit here take a break for 40 minutes, and then I'm like, oh, that's where that piece goes. I literally. I know, Joe. Believe me. He's on every podcast, which I think makes all of mine illegitimate. I am illegitimate as far as podcasters go until PFT. I have. It's one of those situations where he said where we were talking. I had his personal email. It was to the point where he's ready to do it, and he's like, "Hey, I'm super busy. I'm definitely going to do your show, but I'm so busy right now. Just let me reach out to you when I'm ready." And I said, "Yeah, definitely." And I sent him a couple emails that were just like, "Hey, I saw this thing. Just want to say thank you for being funny." And I did that as a genuine compliment. And then there was a point where I over-asked. And I asked again when he asked me not to, which is I went against what I said I would do. And it was, again, being over-enthusiastic, but that doesn't mean it was cool. And it's one of those things I regret. One of the few regrets I have in podcasting is that. There's somebody that I have over-requested also over the years, but and I can't say who it is yet, but they did end up doing my show months ago, and they're going to be towards the end of the show. It was one of the best interviews I've ever done, so it ended up being a very good thing. Who knows? Maybe that'll happen with Paul F. Tompkins. Paul, if you're out there, I know that you're possibly getting started on Twitch. My sincere apologies. I have a Lego man of you. Does that help? That doesn't help. I also have... Where did I put it? No, it's somewhere, but I have... James Burrows has signed a Lego piece for my Cheers set, but I could make it interchangeable since he also directed the first episode of News Radio. So I have a signed Lego. I guarantee it's the only Lego ever signed by James Burrows. He thought it was very weird. Joe, if I made that podcast, boy oh boy, would I be burned to the ground even if I were being sarcastic. And I would be being sarcastic. That sounds like a show someone could make who didn't care about not being burned to the ground by somebody. But I find that a funny idea, however. Boy oh boy. Again, fun little angel with a cool haircut. This is insanity. I think I have burned myself out on this because I need to have the show running. So next time I'm going to set it up, have better angles, have the show running while I do this, and then we can bullshit about what's playing in the background and what's going on. And it's been very nice having everybody join me this week. This day. I don't know how to stream. I don't know. I'm old. God. I'm just going to sit here for the next 30 minutes and just say I'm old and just rock back and forth. Is that fun? That's what people want, right? That's how you become an affiliate on Twitch. Well, anyway, guys, thank you very much. It was very nice seeing you as well, Kurt, and thank you for donating. It was nice seeing everybody in the room. You're all very nice people. And yeah, you know what? Thank you. Thank you, Blair. Please follow me. Hit your notifications so that you know when I Twitch next. That's so disgusting. That's not how anybody says it, but I keep wanting to say it, and then when I say it, it obviously sounds disgusting. Blair, thank you. I also miss a drinking game. Hopefully we'll have... I don't want to say this. I don't want to say hopefully they don't get to do any live shows soon, but I really do want to do some more Zoom shows with them before things start up, because I'm not going to be comfortable doing a drinking game Detroit for another year probably, but it's going to happen. I will say that. A drinking game det.com. It will be up in a matter of weeks, so check that out. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this stream. I'll be back very soon, and here I go as I stop the stream and